Welcome to lick number 3 of this series I'm doing. Lick number 2 used a pull off, and it was this lick here. The next lick I'm going to show is lick number 3. Will be sort of a reverse of that in terms of the lick number 2 used pull offs. Lick number 3 will use hammer-ons, and we're going to be doing this. And this can be moved around to different strings. It's probably, I would say, it is more versatile than lick number 2 in terms of sounding good and working in different places. So I'm just going down the pentatonic, minor pentatonic on different pairs of barring with the first finger. And it sounds pretty good on all of them. So the lick itself is going to be this. Let's learn it on the 2nd and 3rd string first. So let's put a bar at the 5th fret with the first finger, barring the 2nd and 3rd strings. So we're barring these 2 notes. So we're going to play the 3rd string at the 5th fret, which is barred right now, with a down pick. We're going to hammer the 3rd finger at the 7th fret. So we're going to go down pick on the 5th fret, hammer to the 7th fret, and then do an up pick on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So 3rd string, 5th fret, down pick with the first finger, hammer the 3rd finger onto the 7th fret of that same string, 3rd string, and then do an up pick on the 5th string, the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And again, there's a bar at the 5th fret there. So the lick is this. Count it as triplets again, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Similarly, how I described it in lick number 2, we can either do this as a ringing sound, a legato, stretched out notes like so everything rings, or we can cut off notes and make it more staccato. And again, as I explained in lick number 2, I'm using the thumb. So when I put the pick on, ready for the up pick on the 2nd string, that's where I'm cutting off, the flesh of the thumb is cutting off the sound of the 2nd string. I'm sorry, it's cutting off the sound of the 3rd string as I prepare to play the 2nd string. Then I'm going to do the 2nd string. Then when I do the down pick to start the lick again, I'm using actually the nail of my middle finger. The area, the tip of the finger, nails kind of hitting, for me, my purposes here, to stop the sound of the 2nd string ringing. So we get this. Whoop. There's that cut off of the 3rd string. Up pick for the 2nd string. And then when I go to place the pick for the down pick of the 3rd string again, I'm cutting off the sound of the 2nd string. So we get this. Again, if we want that staccato cut-off sound, or we can play it legato. Again, like I explained for lick number 2, I would let more of the pick come forward, so maybe a 1/4 inch or so of the pick is sticking out, 1/3 of an inch maybe, to make sure it doesn't hit any and cut off anything. So that's if I want to play it ringing with a ringing legato sound, or else I choke up on the pick and use the tips of the fingers, like I explained, to get that staccato sound. Now this lick, thinking in terms of the A minor pentatonic, form number 1, you can do this on any string pair. So if we do it on the 1st and 2nd string, we're going to be using this the hammer with the 4th finger. So I'm playing the 2nd string now. I'm barring the 1st and 2nd string at the 5th fret, playing the 2nd string, 5th fret, hammering the 8th fret because that's the note that would be in the pentatonic at that point of the scale, and then doing an up pick on the first string 5th fret. So I get this. If I move to the second and third string, we'll get this. If I move to the 3rd and 4th string, we'll get this. To the 4th and 5th string, we'll get this. And to the 5th and 6th string, we'll get this. Now again, I'm using the 4th finger now, because the 8th fret on the 6th string is the pentatonic note that we're using for the A minor pentatonic. The examples I'm going to use for this, as far as this little jam track, I have the jam track is called Prangster. It's on my website on the jam tracks page. You can play the jam tracks from the page. It's based on Howie Day's song Collide, the basic chord progression, and this is what it sounds like. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with this A minor pentatonic, I'm going to go down 1 fret. We'll be covering more about this later, but I'm really, instead of doing an A flat minor pentatonic or a G sharp minor pentatonic, instead of thinking of it that way, what I'm really doing is I'm calling this a major pentatonic based on the 4th finger at the 7th fret. So really I'm in a B major pentatonic, but it's just like taking the A minor pentatonic down 1 fret and using the same finger pattern, but just 1 fret lower. What's making it the B major is basically leading, thinking of the tone center as being the 4th finger on the B note, 7th fret of the 6th string or the 1st string, instead of the 4th fret. I'll explain more about this in other lessons, but just take the minor pentatonic, A minor pentatonic pattern, move it down 1 fret, and this is where we'll be placing the bars. It's just the key that I happen to do this jam track in. So to play along with it, you'll be in the 4th position. So we'll be playing the scale basically like this. So it's going to look like a G sharp minor pentatonic or an A flat minor pentatonic. But again, I'm really thinking of it as B major pentatonic. When I recorded this, I actually used a capo at the 4th fret, and I used open G chord type positionings for the chords. So this is what the jam track sounds like, and then I'll play that hammered lick against it, and you'll see it sounds pretty good. I'm going to start on the 2nd and 3rd string barred at the 4th fret, and I'm going to hammer onto the 6th fret of the 3rd string. So here we go. Go onto the 1st and 2nd string. Now again, I'm going to use the 4th finger to hammer now, just because it's a note that would be in the pentatonic. So it sounds good there too. If we move to the 3rd and 4th string, you'll hear this. I'm using the 3rd finger to hammer. Now moving on to the 4th and 5th string, same idea. Again, always staying within the pentatonic, always keeping the pentatonic pattern fingers in mind. And then when I move on to the 5th and 6th string, we get this. Just moving around. Now, if we can get the speed doubled on this, we'll get this. It would sound like this: 2, 3, 4. So that's a cool little lick, and useful in a lot of situations. Very similar to, I'll probably do this as a separate lick, but if we actually picked both, I'm on the second and third string, if we picked both strings together at the 4th fret and let them ring and then hammered while the ringing is sort of going on the second string, I'm going to hammer on the 3rd string. You get this lick here. This is like a Hendrix kind of thing to go. It's pretty similar. Again, I'll cover that as a separate lick, but just to give you a little taste of something different with that. One other thing I want to mention is you can take this lick to any of the pentatonic forms. For instance, if I'm going to go back to A minor pentatonic without the jam track now. So this is A minor pentatonic. So if I moved up to form 3, which would be at the 10th fret, this would be form 3 of the A minor pentatonic. But you can do that lick on any pair in any of the forms, so these will sound good too. So if I started at the 6th and 5th string, or the 5th and 4th string, or the 4th and 3rd string, or the 3rd and 2nd string, let's see, the 2nd and 1st string, so again, I went back to A minor pentatonic for that. I used form 3 to do that. But you can use any of the forms, form 2. You can use form 4 or form 5 of the minor pentatonics. And that's it. So again, the basic lick is if we barred the 2nd and 3rd string with the 1st finger at the 5th fret, played the 3rd string with a down pick, hammered the 7th fret with the 3rd finger of the 3rd string, and then did an up pick on the 2nd string, we get the lick. And again, that's very movable to any string pair using any of the pentatonics. All right, that's it for lick number 3.